In the previous lecture, we talked about the ray diagram. The ray diagram, it's a spatial type of the diagram which tracks the lights which are coming from the object and which are passing through some lenses. So let's consider how it happens in this example with the converging lenses. So we've got an object and we need to track the three different lights, and we need to find the intersection of the three different lights, and this intersection point is going to tell us where the image is going to be formed from this object. So in order to do this, we need to do the three lights in the three steps. The step number one is we need to go, we need to draw a light which is going to be parallel to this optical line. Then whenever it passes through the lenses, it should go through the focal point. The second one is it's going to go through this focal point. Then after it hits the lens, it should go parallel to this optical line. And the third one is going from the object through the center of the mirror. So here we've got the intersection of the three lights, and we are going to have the object here, which is going to be reversed. This is going to be the image from this object, and the image is going to be reversed of the object. So let's consider another case when the object is going to be in between the focal point and the lens. Again, we need to do the three steps. The step number one is we need to draw a parallel line and then go through the focal point. The second one is we need to draw a line which is going through the focal point and then parallel. The third one is the line which is passing through the object and the center of the mirror of the lens. The problem is the three lines are not intersecting anywhere else here on the right hand side part. So what we need to do is we need to figure out how they are going to intersect here on the left hand side of the mirror. In order to do this, we just need to continue those lines. So let's continue this blue light to here. And also let's continue this red one to here. So it's going to be the continuation of the red one. So they are going to intersect at this point. So the three lines are going to intersect here. And this intersection point is going to tell us where the image is going to be formed from this object. So this is our object, and this is the image which is coming from this object. So please note that in the previous case here, the image and the object are in the different sides from the lens. Here they are on the same side. So whenever the object and the image are in the different side, we call this image as a real image. And here, when the object and the image are on the same side, we're going to call this image as a virtual image. And the condition to form the real image is that our object should be placed after the focal point here. And whenever the object is between the focal point and the mirror, we are going to get always the virtual image. So let's check how it works using the simulations. So we are going to use the SimBucket simulations. So this is the SimBucket simulations. It's how we are going to simulate what we've just learned right now. So this is the converging lens, and we've got an object here. So again, in order to create an image, we need to draw these three lights. The first one is going to be parallel to the optical line and then go through the focal one. The second one is going to be through the focal one and parallel to the optical line. And the third one is going to go through the object and the center of the mirror. An intersection of the three lights is going to tell us where's the image. So please note that this image is going to be reversed, right? So here I've got the ABC and here the CBA, the reversed image of that object. And you see, so whenever I'm changing this object, the place of the object, I'm going to get always the real one, unless my object is after the focal point. But whenever this image is between the focal point and the lens, I've got this image here on the same side as an object. So again, we can do this in the three steps. So the step number one is going to be parallel, then through the focal point. But please note that whenever the object is between the focal point and the mirror, we are going to get the image here. So we need to look for the intersection of the lines here on the same side as an object. So the step number 2 is we need to create the line, which is going to go through this focal point and parallel. And then we need to continue this line to this side. The third one is going to be goes through the object and the center of the lens. And again, we are going to look for the intersection of the 3 lines here on the same side as an object. So we can look for how it works for the diverging lengths again. So let's assume that I've got an object here, somewhere here, and what I would like to do is I would like to create an image of this object. And you can see here that the image of an object is going to be, again, the virtual image. It's going to be on the same side as an object. And again, we're going to do this in the 3 steps. The step number 1 is going to be go parallel, then through the focal point. The problem is, again, so whenever the light is passing through the diverging lengths, it should diverge, not converge to the focal point. So it should go up, not to the down. So that's why we are going to use this focal point in order to fit to our algorithm. So we've got a line which is parallel to the focal, parallel to the optical line. Then we are going to draw a line which is going through the focal point. So this is going to be our line. The second one should go through the focal, right? So it should go through the focal, then somehow parallel. So sorry. So we are going to use this focal point. So the focal point to here, then parallel to the line. And then we need to go back to here because the intersection is going to be here. And for the third one, so we need to draw a line which is going to go through the center of the mirror and the object. And again, we're going to go through it to this part. And the intersection of the 3 lines are here. So you can see they intersect here. And for the diverging lenses, the image of an object is going to be always here. It means that the image of which is coming from the object is going to be always virtual.